Good morning, everyone. March 1st, 2023. As I throw away the blanket, it is absolutely freezing. We have just finished Mandalorian Chapter 17. This is very interesting. So, before we get started here, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. That would be great. My name is Sean. Welcome to Extra Techie. It's really extra techie. Welcome to Extra Star Wars. We do have an Extra Techie channel, of course. Welcome to Extra Star Wars, where we talk all sorts of different things Star Wars with a focus in on the book, the content material, the TV shows, the movies, all the good stuff. So let's start off with The Mandalorian. And again, this is a spoiler heavy sort of cast. We're not going to talk for a long time, but give me a few minutes of your day as you maybe react to the episode like I'm reacting to the episode. So let's start off with, I'm not a negative person when it comes to Star Wars. I'm a very positive person when it comes to Star Wars. I defend a lot of the IP. I am okay with Disney and their decisions for the most part. I didn't really read Legends. This has all been known if you follow the channel, but we can always have a discussion on that later. So we usually break down the Mandalorian on a podcast, live on YouTube, etc., etc. But today I felt like we need to kind of have a discussion about Chapter 17 right off the bat. It's always a race to who can get out the content first. So let's start off with the hard realization that this is not a good start to Season 3. That is my opinion. It is not a great start to Season 3. The reason why it's not a great start to Season 3 is that it's a very uneven episode. It doesn't really know what it wants to do. And if you're just joining me, just remember, if you're watching this is a very spoiler-heavy cast as we get into Mandalorian Season 3, Chapter 17. It's a very uneven episode. Not sure what direction the story is going. We sort of get an idea from the trailers, but, Din, the Mando, needs to get the Mandalore to atone for his removal of the helmet. And that's a fine mission. No problem. So great. So great. Can't wait to get the Mandalore. But they spent 30 minutes of the Mandalorian putzing around, doing things that didn't really matter in the long run. So I wrote down some notes while watching it for the first time. I only have one watch in. I did not rewatch this episode just yet. Right off the bat, we get a very exciting action scene, but I was a little confused by it because we have the forger, and she is, I guess, swearing in a foundling into their creed, and there's a bunch of Mandalorians, and right off the bat, I thought to myself, oh, this is a cool little flashback of when maybe Din Djarin was sworn in, and we're getting a young Din, and then all of a sudden they get attacked by a creature from Dino Dana, of course, a giant alligator dinosaur. I'm sort of out on any creature appearances at this time. It's way overused in the Star Wars universe. Okay, we have giant creatures, we get it. Why does the creature always have to disrupt what's happening? And it's impenetrable, you can't defeat it. And these Mandalores, for being so smart and battle savvy, attempt to subdue this giant alligator dinosaur, and they fail tremendously. Terrible. They're shooting their little wires and zip lines into the side like it wasn't going to alligator roll on them. Oh my god, their blaster's doing nothing until the Mandalorian shows up, of course, in his N1 starfighter, hits it with a proton torpedo missile, and the thing explodes, and the day is saved, of course. I did not like the sequence until the Mandalorian rolls up in his N1 Mustang Thunderbird, and he just looks on, and then Grogu pops up, and I was like, all right, this is a fun way to start the episode. We go, there's one point, I'm not going to go in really chronological order here, but there's one point in the episode that I really like that I'm going to save to the end. So if you stick around to the end, you're going to get that. We head to Navarro, and there's clearly time has passed. The thing with the Mandalorians is that there's all these new ones, but the last we left, the Forger and Paz Vizsla, there's two. Now there's like 25. I guess you can just recruit. Maybe they were hiding. Maybe there's no. We did not fill in that storyline, so I do not know the answer to the question. But Paz Vizsla was pretty pissed off at Mando last time, calling him apostate, and basically we sacrificed all of our people for you, and then you removed your helmet, and then now they have all these people. So I'm just confused as to what's going on with that. So we go to Navarro, which I wrote down. Hey, this is a town right out of Hyrule. It's beautiful. I love the evolution of Navarro. I love that it's he's a high magistrate, and we got droids carrying his little cape, and it's pretty cool detail there. Um, the reveal of that's Grogu, and he just says, "If you say so." Like everything about Carl Weathers and his demeanor and character of Grief Karga is awesome. Great evolution to the whole thing. I love that we got a little bit of an insight into Cara Dune's character, that she was recruited into the special forces after the capture of Moff Gideon. I love that. Like they didn't write this character out. She's not dead, but she's somehow going to be back in some sort of way. Uh, we've get a little bit of a conflict because there's pirates, and I guess they went on Old Navarro. This was when Grief Karga was the part of the guild. And there's a Western standoff, of course, there is. And Mandalorian saves the day once again, but obviously there's going to be grudges held later. One of the things that, well, to finish the story of the pirates, when Mando eventually leaves Navarro, uh, after a very silly sequence, we'll get to it. We have Pirates of the Mandalore. And, it's basically Blackbeard from Pirates of the Caribbean, and I'm in for it. I love it. It's kind of a cool little aspect because they sort of remind me of the Nile from the High Republic. We don't really get like a true pirate sense. Like the only pirate I can think of is Jack Sparrow and Hondo Anoka, right? So like it's kind of cool seeing like an actual pirates coming into the world. I'm wondering if the pirate theme will be chasing Mandalorian all over the galaxy, and I guess we'll see what happens there. So that's a cool little thread. One of my highlights of there. But like Grogu, despite all the time that has passed, is still a young child. Like he's still a little bit immature. He's spinning in a chair. He's eating M&Ms. He's hugging creatures. Like he's got no sense of control. Which tells me that not a lot of time has passed. So like, did time pass or did time not pass? I don't know. Like it's very confusing. It's uneven. After we leave Navarro and we get attacked by, well, before we leave Navarro, Mando's just like goes by the IG-11 statue and is like, "Ah, do you remember your friend? Yeah, he was so great. I want to rebuild him." And I'm like, what? Like how? Why? Why are we rebuilding IG-11? It doesn't make any sense. So they take him down. Lo and behold, they reactivate him because Mandalorian all of a sudden is an expert in droid repair, and he has his old memory banks and he wants to kill Grogu. It's a wasted 7 minutes of like, Mando, shoot him, and then it's just everything about it just doesn't make sense. So they take them to the droid smiths, which is Babu Frick's species. I don't think Babu Frick was there, but it's definitely the same species. I forget the name of it at this time, and the language is fun. Mando can't understand it. Can't understand it. Grief's translating. They can't do it without a part. Okay, now we need a part for IG-11 in order for IG-11 to be repaired. Why is IG-11 back? I need him for Mandalore. He's the only droid I trust. What? Okay, sounds good to me. So now we leave Navarro. We get attacked by pirates. We leave. We go to Kamalaha, which is a Mandalorian moon or something like that. There's a castle. Bo-Katan is there. She's real depressed because she's just by herself. She's just hanging out. She's lounging on this throne, which is beautiful. The whole throne scene is wonderful. Really straight out of like Clone Wars and things like that. It's really nice. Hey, where's your people? I'm ready to go to Mandalore. All my people left because you have the Darksaber. They'll follow you instead. And it's like, okay, so we can't get IG-11, wasted the time. We go to Bo-Katan to get an update on her, and she's not helpful. So we leave her, and that's where the episode ends. And I just don't know. I don't know where this season's going. Are we doing Mandalore? Are we not doing Mandalore? It seems like we are. There's no mention of like, we have a small mention of Moff Gideon. We have. Anyway, to finish up, because my thoughts are all getting jumbly. The best and most implicating part of this episode is when the Mandalorian and Grogu are in hyperspace, leaving Dino Land and going to Navarro. There's an emphasis on these creatures that are in hyperspace, and they're like long octopus looking creatures, and you can hear them. There's a little bit of like a whale sound, and these creatures are Purgles or Purgles. And the last time we saw them, they suctioned themselves to a ship that Ezra Bridger and Thrawn were on, and they can travel through hyperspace however they feel, just like a ship can. And they took them away, and that was really sort of like how Rebels left off the characters of Ezra and Thrawn. So the fact that they're introducing this in Chapter 17 of Mandalorian Season 3 is very huge for the idea that these creatures exist in this world as well, and that there's a possibility that we will be able to bridge the gap between Rebels and the Mandalorian and likely Ahsoka. So that's probably the best part about the episode. But other than that, Mandalorian Chapter 17, swing and a miss at this time. Maybe my thoughts change over rewatches. What did you think of the episode? Leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Again, I'm not hating on The Mandalorian. I love The Mandalorian. But I just think they were trying to do too much with too little time. They're now sprinting to the finish line, but they didn't go anywhere. They're spinning their tires, as they would say. Whatever the case may be, we're going to watch next week anyway. We're going to discuss. Hopefully you can catch some of the live shows that the Red 5 Network pushes out throughout the week. So don't forget to go to bio.link/Red5. If you want to follow my content, go to bio.link/extra techie. You can see all the different things. We're reviewing comics at this time in addition to watching The Mandalorian. So I hope that you can join us in on the discussion. So this is the end of our content. If you missed it, go rewind it back and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, may the Force be with you, and this is the way.